Apostle Paul said, God has made us competent as ministers of the new covenant. Then what did Apostle Paul do to say, I am a minister of the new covenant, a minister of the gospel? Let's turn to 1 Corinthians chapter 11, verse 23. In verse 23 it is written, For I received from the Lord what I also passed on to you. The Lord Jesus, on the night he was betrayed, took bread, and when he had given thanks, he broke it and said, This is my body, which is for you. Do this in remembrance of me. In the same way, after the supper, he took the cup, saying, This cup is the what covenant? New covenant in my blood. Do this whenever you drink it in remembrance of me. For whenever you eat this bread and drink this cup, you proclaim the Lord's death until he comes. Apostle Paul said, I passed on to you what I received from the Lord, referring to it here as the new covenant. This scene is precisely the scene of the Passover. Corinth is not a region of Judah. It is a Gentile nation. Even in the Gentile region, what was he preaching? He preached the necessity of keeping the Passover. Let's also look at 1 Corinthians chapter 5. In chapter 5, verse 7, it reads, Get rid of the old yeast, so that you may be a new unleavened batch, as you really are. For Christ, our Passover lamb, has been sacrificed. The Bible likens Jesus' sacrifice on the cross to the sacrifice of the Passover lamb. How does God instruct the destroying angels to deal only with the houses where the blood of the Passover lamb had been shed? He made them pass over the disaster. This scene explains the relationship between the Passover of the Old Testament and the New Covenant Passover of the New Testament as a shadow and its reality. For Christ, our Passover lamb, has been sacrificed. Therefore, let us keep the festival. What are we to keep? Here, festival can be expressed in another term as feast. Which festival is it among the festivals? Keep the festival of the Passover. Not with the old bread, leavened with malice and wickedness, but with the unleavened bread of sincerity and truth. Let us do this means to observe the Passover. Apostle Paul even went to the Gentile nation and preached to the Gentiles, saying, You must keep the Passover. He also taught that those who do this kind of work are called ministers of the gospel or ministers of the new covenant. Let's confirm this scene Apostle Paul mentioned in 1 Corinthians chapter 11 by looking at Luke chapter 22, verse 7. In Luke chapter 22, verse 7, it is written, Then came the day of unleavened bread on which the Passover lamb had to be sacrificed. Whom did Jesus send? Jesus taught Peter and John about the Passover as well. Let's take a closer look at how Peter and John prepared the Passover. Jesus sent Peter and John, saying, Go and make preparations for us to eat the Passover. Where do you want us to prepare for it? They asked. He replied, As you enter the city, a man carrying a jar of water will meet you. Follow him to the house that he enters, and say to the owner of the house, The teacher asks, Where is the guest room where I may eat the Passover with my disciples? He will show you a large room upstairs, all furnished. Make preparations there. They left and found things just as Jesus had told them. So they prepared the Passover. Let's see the scene of preparing and celebrating the Passover. Verse 19. And he took bread, gave thanks, and broke it, and gave it to them, saying, This is my body given for you. Do this in remembrance of me. In the same way, after the supper, he took the cup, saying, This cup isn't it the cup of the Passover wine? The new covenant in, what did he say? My blood. Therefore, those who preach the new covenant become gospel workers. However, does it make sense to say they are preaching the gospel today without celebrating the Passover? This scene marks the moment when Jesus Christ finalized the system of all the new covenant truths, from baptism to the Sabbath day on the Passover.